Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I'm an intuitive reader, a manifesting coach, a Reiki practitioner, and a life path guide and mentor here to help you along your awakening journey. And in this video, we're going to talk about what to do when you are either dating or married to somebody else who is not quite maybe into spirituality as much as you are. Maybe they're not fully awakened. Maybe they're not awake at all. Maybe you have different belief systems. I got 2 comments recently on a couple of my videos from the past, like some videos from last year about manifesting your special person, and people would comment and ask, Michelle, like, what do you do if your partner's not awake? What do you do if your partner doesn't believe in spirituality like you do, or card readings? And I always say that if you feel it's a soul connection, right, and you just love that person, you unconditionally love them, you are not going to want to force them to change because you're accepting them for where they are and where they're at. And if you truly feel like they are a healthy, calm, peaceful match for you and your life, then allow them just to be there. And then take the mirror and put it back on yourself and ask yourself this question: why does what they do affect me? Or what am I yearning for? How can I give that to myself? And a lot of times, what we're yearning for from our partner, we want them to be awakened. We want to share conversation with them about all of this stuff. But I've learned through all of my client sessions over the last 5 years and I've seen partners who were not awaken a year, 2 years later. So hold the line. It does happen eventually, but I've seen people just fully accept the fact that they don't have to get everything from one person in their life. I just had a girlfriend here and she was cutting my hair and we had the best conversation and we were bartering. I pulled cards for her while she was cutting my hair. And that just fills my soul up to be able to talk to her about spirituality and her life path and all of this, to the point where, if I had a husband, I wouldn't need to necessarily talk about all of that with him. I would just share my day with him, but I wouldn't be needing him to regurgitate back to me everything that I just went through, or for him to go out and have the same experiences that I have. I actually wouldn't want that. And I've seen that with all of my clients. A lot of times opposites does attract. Like, you need to find out what your needs are first. What are your standards for partnership? Are they healthy standards? Are you in your ego thinking love is supposed to look a certain way? And a lot of us have been conditioned for the fairy tale story that it's always going to be butterflies and it's always going to be magical and it's always going to be blah, 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 blah. But in reality, what do you really want? What are your values? How are you going to raise your children? How are you going to balance things when things get tough? Are you going to go to war together? Or are you going to go to war at each other when you're not understanding each other? And I'm a huge believer in teaching this and sharing this with my clients, is that what I'm a believer in is unconditional love. So you're choosing this partner, right? You're choosing them to spend time with every single day. You have a choice. If you really think about it, if you're committing to marriage, count how many days you might be with this person, until you're 100 or however old. Do the math and count how many days that is. And then think, do I want to be with this person for this many days of my lifetime? And can I commit to that? And can I be okay if they change and grow? Can I be okay if I change and grow? Do I want to pick somebody who's going to support the fact that I'm going to continue to grow? And I want somebody who's going to continue to love me in each stage that I go through. Same for you. So when your partner might not be awakened, are you choosing to allow them to grow? Are you choosing to pull back your energy and say, you know what? I love them at every stage. They don't have to be where my mind thinks they should be because I am not the boss of them. I am not their soul. I don't know what they chose to do in this lifetime, but I love them so much that I want to be with them every single day and cheer them on in whatever way that is. And if they're in a season of depression or sadness and they need time to just breathe, I'm going to love them through that time. And it's the communication, it's the willingness to work together, it's allowing, allowing, allowing. You are not supposed, my views, and from what the channeled messages that I get and from working with mentors and coaches, is we are not here to jump in the car with somebody else. We have our own separate cars. I have my car I'm driving in. My partner is going to have his car that he's driving in, and we could be doing whatever in those cars. You know, I was a teacher. I'm still kind of a teacher on YouTube now. That's what I'm going to be doing. He might be doing whatever he loves to do. You know, for some of you, you might have married a doctor, you might have married a plumber, or maybe you married somebody who loves to create online things, or maybe they're a social media influencer. You know, they're doing that work in their car. You don't always have to have the same line of work, but you do have to have this companionship to want to support each other in their own car. They put their own music on, they dress their own certain way, they have a vibrant personality that you just adore and love, and you're not in the car changing the channel, telling them what to say, telling them what not to say. You need to awaken. We need to be able to have these conversations. You have to like what I like. That is not true partnership. True partnership is two people in separate cars growing at their own pace, cheering each other on, holding space, letting them listen to whatever they want to listen to, allowing them to speak through their troubles or their successes. And we just are so proud of their growth. So you can almost see it as like a sibling, like they're your sibling in a way, but aside from the passionate piece, we'll talk about that next. But, you know, what would you do if your sibling was not awakening quite yet? You wouldn't just leave them, right? They're your sibling. You love them. You unconditionally love them in whatever stage they're at. And think about that. If this partner is truly who someone you love, and you're upset that they're not awakened and they can't talk to you about all of this, I need you to pause and say, this is a need that I'm looking to fulfill and I can't get it from them. So let me resource, let me figure out, maybe I can get the girl that cuts my hair. Maybe I can talk to her about this kind of stuff and fulfill that need. Or maybe I can start my own YouTube channel to create content where I can express that part of myself. And there is a difference between somebody who's not willing to grow, they're doing poor habits, they're not supporting you in your car, they're maybe not awakened. And these are all red flags because this is not somebody who's unconditionally loving you. This might be somebody who's bringing your energy down and it might be a drain for you. So that's where, like I said, you get to choose who you want to spend your time with every single day. And it's always a choice. We have free will, you know, and that's why it's okay to leave partnerships. It's okay to change your mind because people change, people grow. Some people don't grow, some people outgrow other people. And I believe in a higher power that's going to tell you when it's not right. You're going to feel it in your bones that you're missing that passion. A lot of times that's what happens, is that people, they think passion is supposed to be butterflies and excitement and this crazy sexual energy. But passion is really just looking at your partner and there's a polarity. There's this feeling of, I love who they are. I love the core of who they are. I love their soul. You know, they can have anger, they can be doing something, and I still love them. I just like who they are. And you like how they show up and talk to other people. You like their positivity. That to me draws in more passion instead of just the physical attraction. The physical attraction is not going to last. And if you're in a partnership and you're wishing somebody was more awakened or you wish that you had more passion, you have to ask yourself, do I deeply love this person, or did I partner up with them with a weak foundation and now that foundation is kind of crumbling? And that's why I'm feeling like I wish they would awaken, because I'm trying to hold on to something that's not meant to be held on to. So I know in this video, I'm kind of going in two different directions where, you hold the line and you cheer your partner on if it's unconditional love. But if it's not a match, you have a choice and you get to choose who you want to spend your time with. No matter how long you are married, you have a choice. And honestly, one of the most freeing things that I've seen married couples do is I've seen them break up, get divorced, and then they live life without each other for a little bit. And then all of a sudden they start to realize that they really are a match. And now they know the contrast. Now they know, okay, I wasn't with them for so long and I miss them. I want to spend however many days for the rest of my life with them. I'd rather fight with them than make love to somebody else. And I'm sure you guys have heard that quote many times. So that's honestly saying, I'll take them any way I can get them because I love them. And when your partner is not awakened, there is this kind of ego that comes out that's like, you're doing the work, you're bettering yourself. And you're like, why isn't my partner doing it? And that is wrong. You are here for your soul's journey. You are not responsible for your partner. You should not be expecting anything from your partner. You're in your own car doing your own thing. And if what they're doing in their car is bothering you, but it's not really affecting you, you're just watching it and maybe being like, well, it's not good enough for me, then that's conditional love. You are loving them conditionally. And that's something that you need to work on, because that's saying that you're not unconditionally loving yourself. There's some aspect of you that is saying that you're not good enough. And you're holding this high standard for who they need to be, but are you living up to that standard? And why do you even have a standard, right? We should have boundaries in partnership on how we want to be treated. We want to be in our feminine energy and really be at the core of who we are, if we have a core energy of feminine or a core energy of masculine. So a lot of people don't know this, but the masculine energy, in order to feel satiated in life, they need to be able to provide for their feminine and for their family, and they need to protect. If a man in your life who holds a core masculine energy is not feeling good, maybe he's depressed, maybe he doesn't love his job, he is missing this opportunity to provide for his woman. And that could be providing emotional support. It could be providing them literally material things. It could be cooking meals for them. What if that is something he loves to do and he's in a partnership where he is just being diminished and he's not able to show up and do those things because his feminine is in her masculine? And she's saying, you don't do it right, so I'm going to do it all. And that's taking that masculine's way of life away from him. So now he's walking through life feeling unfulfilled because he has no purpose. His purpose was just taken from him. So we have to unlearn this conditioning of the feminines being too much in their masculine energy, which is trauma related, because we weren't safe as little girls. We felt like we had to be independent and take care of ourselves and guard ourselves from the hurtful men that have hurt us, or women. And then the masculine men, they have to unlearn the pattern of being in their feminine, having people do things for them. Maybe they had a wounded mother who made them feel stupid all the time, made them feel like they can't do anything right. Well, now they're going to attract maybe a wife or a partner who might not be awakened, who's treating them that way. And if that's the case, then they have to learn to leave that partnership or to go to counseling with their partner to both unlearn these patterns, to heal, and to fall more into the core masculine and the core feminine. Because when there's core masculine and feminine, oh my goodness, the sex, the polarity, the passion is on fire. Because imagine you're coming home as a feminine and your masculine is providing for you. He's cooked a meal for you and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to jump his bones because this feels so good. He's providing for me. He's taking care of me. He's protecting me. And then as the feminine, for a man, a masculine, to walk in the house of a feminine who has a soft, nurturing, playful energy, and she smells good and she looks good and she values herself and she does her self-care, and he's walking into that energy, that is going to be a turn on for him. So when the both polarities are working together to be in their core energy, showing up for each other, knowing what each other needs, that is where the growth occurs. And that can happen in a marriage where somebody's awakened and not awakened. And it can happen in a partnership where people both don't know this. But if one person takes the opportunity to shift into their core energy, whether it's masculine or feminine, that ignites that spark in the partner. So the last piece of this video is, if you have a partner that is unawakened, guess what? If you continue to do the work and you fall into your core energy, you are going to light a fire under their butt and they're going to start doing the work. They're going to start waking up. They're going to start taking care of themselves. They're going to start seeing things differently. They're going to see their patterns because you're a match to them and you're doing the work too. But when your eyes are on them and always pointing out what they're not doing, your eyes are not on you anymore. You took the focus off of you and you're not in your core feminine or core masculine energy doing your own work in your own car. You have the window down and your eyes are over here. Who's driving the car? Who's pointing, like, what direction are you going in? You're not even looking at the road. So my advice to end this video is, do you love your partner unconditionally? If the answer is yes, then you're staying in the partnership. Do they love you unconditionally? Are they treating you well? Do they value you? Are you setting boundaries? Do they honor those boundaries? Okay, you say yes to that, then you're staying in the partnership, right? Then you're wanting them to grow, you're wanting them to expand. You just keep your eyes on your road and you keep doing what you're doing. Self-care, you're nurturing all of your partnerships. You have found that you can get certain fulfillment from other people other than your partner. So you're attracting soul tribe now, people that you can talk to about spirituality. You're booking sessions with people like me who are fulfilling that need that you're craving to get from your partner. You're not meant to get everything from one person, you guys. We have so many people that can offer love to us. It's the fairy tale story that we have to deconstruct, that one person holds all of our joy. That is a recipe for disaster. We love ourselves. We have found healthy relationships with friendships, with parents, with children, and we know who to go to for what need and desire. And then our partner is our biggest cheerleader. There's somebody who we can go to if we need to be held, if we need to be seen. We don't have to have them understand the work that we do or have the same belief systems, but we have to have the same values. We have to value each other. We have to put each other second. We put ourselves first, and then we put our partnership there too, right? And we know that the universe is between us in this partnership. But again, like you said, if a partner's not awakened, that might be a struggle to talk about that with your partner. And maybe that is a deal breaker. So you have to decide that. But if you love them unconditionally, you're going to stay, keep your eyes focused on your road. You're going to do the work. You're going to make sure this whole time, if you've been wanting them to wake up, have you been doing your own work on your masculine and feminine energies? You hold both. You have to balance both within you, and then they start to awaken and they start to do the work with you. And another side note, you are not meant to teach your twin or your soulmate or your partner, your special person. They are meant to get their own mentor. You get your own mentor. We are not the teachers of our partners. We are our own souls and we are learning as we go. And if we are constantly looking for our partner to fulfill something in us, it's a terrible expectation to put on somebody. There's so much pressure in that. And you don't want to be their teacher. You want to be their passionate lover. You want to be their best friend. It's not always healthy to be the teacher student type of energy, because then somebody always feels less than. So when we're learning about spirituality and we're both partners are growing and learning, we need our own mentors. We have to go our separate ways. Then we can come back together and share what we've learned. Be like, oh my gosh, I discovered this about myself. Did you discover that? Or maybe if you don't want to talk about it with them because they're not at that level yet, that's what your friends are for. That's what a mentor is for. You can talk about this with them. But again, like I said, you have a choice. We have free will. I don't believe that there's this one person that we're only supposed to be with our entire lifetime. I believe that there's this tree and we're all on it. We're all souls on these trees, and I am one branch. And on my branch, there are maybe 5 other branches coming off of my branch. And those 5 branches are all the different men that I've connected with in my life. And I've had about 5 serious relationships. I'm 41, and each of those men have taught me so much about myself. And they were destiny. They felt like soulmates. They felt like twin flames. They even looked like me. They taught me so much about what I didn't want and what I do want. So without those 5 people, I wouldn't be who I am today. And some people have one branch. You know, we see our grandparents and they met in high school or in middle school and they stayed married their whole life. And if they were honorable and acted in integrity and didn't step out of their marriage at any point during that time, we never know, right? Then maybe they were only meant to have one branch and their souls chose to live this life together in this lifetime in that way. But not everybody has the same scenarios. I have 5 and who knows how many more I'll have. Hopefully I only have one more. That's my goal, is just to be with one person from here on out, but my soul might have another plan. So open yourself up to the idea that there's not just one person for you. For other people it might be true, but maybe not for you. Or maybe it is, but just be open to more. And don't feel like you're trapped if you're in a situation that's unfulfilling. You first have to ask yourself, is this unconditional love? Is this person capable of growing? Am I trying to fix them? And you really have to look at those answers, and you have to pull your energy back and say, what do I want for myself? If I had a child who was 25 years old and she or he was in this partnership, what advice would I give them? And give that advice to yourself. And know that you are worthy of the best, but you have to be living your best in order to attract the best. So having an awakened partner or an unawakened partner doesn't really matter. What matters is, are they cheering you on? Are they supporting you? Are they loving you unconditionally? And can you grow together? I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, I would love to create another video on this topic, diving deeper into some of your questions. So please drop a question below. If you feel like I didn't touch on something or you wish I would have touched on something more, I would love to continue to make videos like this. And I've had a lot of experience dating, and I've taught so many people in my readings and in my client sessions. I've seen partnerships. I've seen people where one partner was unawakened for like 8 years. She woke up and her husband found me and he booked a session for her through me so that I could help her awaken, because he didn't want to teach her. So he was waiting for her to wake up. And she finally woke up out of nowhere. And then he booked her with me. And then I had started working with her. And it was cool to see that aspect of it, because it does give people hope that people do eventually awaken. And we're living in a time now where I think everybody's going to wake up. It's just a matter of what's going to happen, how, and then how can we nurture them through that process. So again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and drop a comment if you have any questions, or if you just like this video, please tell me. I love hearing from all of you, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.